Check, 1, 2, check. Check. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kirk Mote. This is Rescue Owners Live, Season 2, Episode number 12. Welcome to Episode number 12. We have a very special guest for you today. If this is your first time, would love to know where you're calling in from, tuning in from, so throw it in the chats. We're broadcasting to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. And the special guest I would like to introduce you today is Cynthia Coffey. She is a mother, a restaurant owner, author, realtor, and speaker. She is a passionate entrepreneur, sharing her tips and tricks with the world via speaking engagements. And her best-selling book, You Can Do Hard Things. She has pushed herself to be authentic, real, inspirational, and positive in every aspect of her life. Her customers, staff, family, and friends have all been motivated to become better people with her signature message consistently ringing in their ears. So you can do hard things. Give it up in the chat for Cynthia Coffey. Cynthia, how's it going?
What's up? I'm live. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us live on Rescue Owners Live. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. I am not at home. I'm traveling. So
all right.
I set
Where are
up
you at right now?
Little makeshift studio for myself right here. So can you see me okay? Is everything okay?
Yeah, you're perfect. You're coming in loud and clear. You look great. So hey,
awesome.
Where are you today? Like, I know you're out of California typically.
Yes.
But you're where?
I am big on self-development, and I am at an event. You know, we met at Create, which is an amazing event with the Grow Stack Drive community. Well, I recently did a compilation book with Greg Reed, and it is called Station 42. And there is an event this week called Secret Knock. It's an amazing entrepreneur event where we can mingle and meet with like-minded people, but it's just that exposure. It's huge. And so I am in San Diego, California. So not Northern California today. I'm in Southern California today.
Love it. Love it. So I'm on the East Coast. You're on the West Coast. So I mean, we're this everywhere in between, right? So
that's right.
I love it. So you're not the only person who told me that you're doing Secret Knock. So can you obviously you got to be invited to join. Is that right?
You do. Because I was in the compilation book, I got the invite. I got the nod.
Nice. Well, that's pretty cool. So what are people going to experience a Secret Knock? I'm just curious. Or can you even tell? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's so Greg Reed puts it on. He's an author. He's written gosh, I can't even tell you how many books. I want to say like 26 or something like that. Amazing books. One of the first ones I read from Greg Reed was 3 Feet from Gold with the Napoleon Hill Foundation and Sharon Lecter. I love Sharon Lecter. She was here. I got to see her today. I got to give her a squeeze. She's an amazing author herself and a mentor of mine. I call her my friend. I posted yesterday. We just gravitate towards each other. It is such an amazing experience. And to have a woman like that in your circle, so powerful and just really impactful about what she can do. And it's one of those things, you said it earlier. I have learned that you can do hard things. That's the name of my book. And that is what I tell everybody. And that's part of it. It's just part of getting out there. Yeah.
So I met Sharon Lecter for the first time last year, and it was at a Grant Cardone event. And so authentic, like this down to earth. I mean, she knows her stuff, and like she's very smart. And she just did another book, Exit Rich. Have you seen that one yet?
I have the signed copy, but I have not read it. It is on my list of books to read for this year. I have a goal of reading 12 books, one a month. So it is on my list. It is on my list.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a good one for sure. So I finished that a few weeks ago, and it's
awesome.
It's one that you're going to want to annotate, reread over and over again, and look kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? When you go to school, the textbook, that's the one. So like, it's a good one to like reference over and over again throughout your business cycles for sure. So Cynthia, for those who don't know you that well, I know I kind of gave an overview of who you are, but could you dive a little bit deeper? Who you are, what do you do, why do you do it?
It's very interesting because every day I learn a little bit more. So I do have a saying, every day I learn and every day I get better. I went on a self-development journey about 2 years ago, and I just found this whole new world, just this amazing world of self-development, being self-aware and finding out who you are. And one of the things is finding out who you are before what you are. And I spoke a little bit about this when we were at Atlanta, when I spoke at Move the Needle. And it is me. Who am I? Well, I am a loving, caring, driven businesswoman who is constantly evolving to become self-aware so that I can teach you that you can do hard things. I want to be that person when you look at me that says, yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can. There's so many things in life that take away from us. And I think that it's just so important to keep up that inside. Like success starts on the inside. When you know who you are, that's when you really start to grow and evolve. And so when I went on this self-development journey about 2 years ago, I had this pull. It was just this pull of more. And I didn't really understand what it was. And now being in this whole community, I mean, you got to experience it at the Create event and Grow Stack Drive. That was really my first. Well, technically it was my second. 10X, you're wearing the 10X hat. Sharon Lecter, I met Sharon walking down the aisle one day at the 10X event at GrowthCon. Ken, I met at GrowthCon. I met him just before that, but we had a relationship of coaching starting right before the GrowthCon event. And that's just something that really sparked me, really made me say, okay, why didn't I know this earlier? And so that really started my whole self-development journey and where I'm at right now and why I have this passion to just share it with everybody and say, yes, you can.
I love that because so often people forget what they're capable of, and they start thinking to themselves, they hear the negativity, whether self-imposed or otherwise. And it's so important to hear a message like yours that is like, yes, you can. You most certainly can do this. And you can do hard things, by the way. It's okay to do hard things.
Yes.
I love what you said. Every day I learn, every day I get better. We've heard the phrase 1% better every day. And I love that because it's the idea that, hey, you don't have to jump from point A to point B all in one day. It's incremental change or consistent things that you do, those habits on a daily basis. Can you share with us a little bit of those daily habits that are so ingrained in your behavior?
Gratitude is huge. I never practiced it as I was growing up. I never practiced it in my 20s, and I started it late in my 30s. And it was one of those things that just my daily practice is you have to center yourself and give yourself joy. You have to remember all of the things that you're grateful for. Um, Amberly talked about it also at Move the Needle, Amberly Lago, and she said it's alchemy. So it's something that's actually manifested in your body. You're giving that to yourself. You're actually bringing joy. You're creating that. And to me, it starts in your heart. And so gratitude, even if something is not nothing is perfect, but even if you have a bad day or if you have an experience and it's not perfect, my gratitude journal is right here. I literally pull out my gratitude journal and I recenter myself and I say, okay, listen, nothing is perfect. I have to set myself up. My mindset is huge. Positive mindset, how I feed my mindset every day is huge. So gratitude is first and foremost. I do it every morning. Sometimes I do it in the afternoon. Sometimes I do it in the evening. Sometimes I do it twice a day. And it's because it re-centers me. It focuses me on the true joys instead of thinking about all of those things that are on the outside world. I'm getting it from inside. So that was a huge game changer for me. I saw Bradley on the As the Leader Grows podcast, and he said, if you were to wake up in the morning with only the things that you were grateful for, that you thanked God for the night before, what would you wake up with? And it totally just changed my whole mindset. I was like, wow. And it's just a game changer. It's something so small and you can do it yourself. You don't need any books. You don't need any, direction. You just literally dig inside your heart and you say, what am I grateful for? In the beginning of the gratitude process, it's simple. I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for my mom. I'm grateful for my kids. But then you really dig and you expand on it. And one of the things that I say every day, and my kids think this is funny, I say, I am grateful for my sight to see the colors of the world and to watch my girls grow up to be amazing humans. And it really paints the picture. It's not just saying I'm grateful for my kids. It's why I had this thing where at one point in my life, my eyes are really bad. I wear contacts, you can't tell, but I can't see. Like I'm almost blind. And so it kept getting worse and I got scared and I thought, oh my goodness, what happened? So anyway, I write that in my gratitude journal every day because it is near and dear to me, because what happens if I were to wake up the next morning and I didn't have my sight? So I thank God for that every day. So little personal part. But
I love
gratitude.
that. I appreciate you sharing that because, so often we take things for granted, such as our sight. And it's like, wow, like imagine life without it. And there's certainly people out there that, are blind, right?
Yeah.
And like imagine, like they have a completely different perspective on life. But like you recognize at this point on your life that you're like, man, this is a gift. This is something that like imagine living without it. And so I'm grateful for that. I love how authentic that is. Who you are before, I'm going to go back a little bit. You talk about who you are before what you are. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit, like this is part of your, journey as far as, self-development, who you are, figuring out who you are first, and then what you are. Can you kind of distinguish the difference between the who and the what, and then how you came about that for yourself?
Well, it was another conference from Grow Stack Drive. It was the very first boot camp, and Nate May said those two words: who before what? What? I'm a mom of three beautiful ladies. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a restaurateur. But who am I on the inside? What makes me those things? And so I'm loving, I'm caring, I'm driven, I'm contagiously optimistic. I have an energy that is contagious. And so that's what makes me do and be all of what I am, right? So part of the process for me, which is really, really interesting, and this is the part, And this is a common theme with almost any of the events that I have gone to in the last 2 years. It all starts and ends with you. If you don't know who you are on the inside, then how is that you can grow, right? And be self-aware of the things that you know you can and can't do, your strengths and your weaknesses, right? Because there's always something, like I said, every day I learn and every day I get better. There's always something I can improve on. But if I'm not asking myself the questions, then how am I learning who I am? We focus so much on what we are. When you go to a seminar and people ask you, well, what do you do? They always ask you most of the time 3 questions, right? What's your name? Where are you from? And what do you do? So that's all who you present to the world. But then who are you on the inside? Who are you like when I'm by myself? I love music. I love to dance. I'm happy. I'm kind of go with the flow. Some would say I'm not. I'm a little stubborn. But all of those things make up who I am, not what I am. So when I figured out that once I know who I am, then I can really grow and help myself develop to be the best version of myself. Because what you are is a byproduct of who you are, right?
Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah. And I found that out through the process. Bradley says it's seeking new information. And it's funny because, when I first was asked to do this interview, I thought to myself, oh, it's Business Owners Live. I was like, Rescue Owners Live, this is going to be great. I was like, I'm going to talk about the restaurant and and what I do. But it really, truly all comes down to you. I couldn't be the restaurant owner if I didn't know who I was, right? It's such an
100%.
amazing process when you really get into it. That's why I have such a passion for it. And somebody was asking me some questions and she even told me, she's like, your countenance totally changed. She goes, you light up like nothing else. Coach Bird asked me one time, he said, if you could do a TED Talk, what would you do? What would you talk about for 18 minutes? I was like, the power of you. You are your own superpower. If you just know who you are on the inside, what makes you tick? How do you get to that next level? Because so many times we take things from the outside that we aren't pulling from our own self, our inside. And so it's such a passion. See, I could talk about it forever.
I love it. I love it. So this is very interesting because I'm starting to see the correlation between your personal self and the business world. And what I mean by that is in the business world, you have your vision, your mission, your core values. Who you are is almost your core values in a sense, is kind of what I'm hearing you say. Like what makes you uniquely you.
That's right.
That's part of your, personal core values, I would say. And it's just very interesting because I feel like there's definite overlap there. And, people, like, the number one problem in business is people don't know how to find, attract, align, and retain people to work for them. And a big part of that is they don't even know what their vision is to begin with. So it has to kind of like reverse engineer all the way back to yourself.
Right.
And then comes out in your restaurant or your business or whatever your entrepreneurship is pursuing at the time. And you got to reverse engineer all the way down to you yourself is what I'm hearing.
I'm a firm believer. I share it whenever I possibly can. You are your own superpower. One of the core values for both myself and the restaurant is fun. It seems really silly because also it's hard to gauge fun, right? As a core value in the restaurant, because core values are to help the team, right? Strategically for growth, or to, help them excel, right? So fun is the atmosphere. Fun is what we bring at Home Run Pizza. We want you to be in an environment where you want to be there, where you want to come back time after time. And so now that I just said that out loud, that's funny. One of them is inviting, our core values at the restaurant. One of them is inviting and one of them is fun. And that also does correlate to myself as a on a personal level as well. And as you're saying that, and we're talking about it just out loud, there are some other ones that we could do. But yes, it does. It transfers personally, and then you bring that to the experience, because you can go out anywhere. You can go to, and I don't want to hurt anybody's name, but a chain, right? Just any chain. And they walk up to you and they say, "Hi, I'm Cynthia. I'm going to take your order." But at Home Run Pizza, it's different. We invite you in. It's community. We bring community together with good food, delicious food, and environment. We bring you together because we want that atmosphere. We want you to come back time after time. And we do that because our community is so important to us. And we want to bring fun, and we want people to have fun there. So you're right. Personal transfers over to business. It definitely does.
By the way, pizza is my number one favorite meal. Like, you ask my wife, she's like, "Hey, Kirk, what do you want for dinner?" And like, without a shadow of doubt, it's always pizza. Like, to the point where she knows what she's going to get when she asks. So next time I'm in California, I'm going to have to drop by your restaurant and check it out.
I think you should. I would love to have you. What kind of pizza do you like?
I'll be there. I'm basic, so it's just pepperoni and cheese. I mean, that's just as simple as it gets.
It's a classic. It's not basic. It's a classic.
Thank you. See, I like that. That's what I tell people when they're like, "Dude, let's dump a bunch of stuff on top of it." I'm like, "Nah, I'm traditional. I'm a classic kind of dude." So I like that. All right. So now that we're talking about pizza in a restaurant, do me a favor and tell me a little bit about Home Run Pizza. And you're in California, so I want to learn a little bit. First of all, let's talk about what made you want to start the restaurant.
Well, I do have a little bit of a unique story. I have been in hospitality my whole entire life. I started at 13 years old in the cafeteria at my school, at my junior high school. I just love bringing smiles to people's faces, and food does that. I'm Italian, so we have good food. We love to eat. We gather in the kitchen. So it just is part of me. And I had my first serving job when I was 23. I don't want to date myself. I don't want you to figure out my age, but I was 23. And I loved it. It was fun. I loved the people. I made amazing friends. I still have some amazing friends from that very first restaurant. And we didn't know each other except for the fact that I was the server and she was the customer, and she tells the story all the time. So it's amazing. So after that, I stopped for a little bit. I started to have children, and I said, I was working full time, and I said, well, I'm really good at this, and I want to stay home with my daughter. So I started to work evenings, and the original very first place that I worked was called Paradise Pizza. And one of the owners had opened a new place, which is Home Run Pizza. So Home Run Pizza has been open for 19 years. We just hit our 19-year anniversary. I serve.
Let's go. Congrats.
Yeah, that's huge. So I'm planning a big party next year. Huge, 20.
Maybe that's when I should come out.
That's perfect. I would love that. So we've been open for 19 years. I served in the restaurant for 13 years. I had an opportunity to purchase the restaurant in 2008. I loved it as my own, but I had 3 small kids. And in all honesty, financially, I couldn't do it. There was no way. And the commitment that it takes to run a restaurant, I didn't want to do that to my 3 kids again, but I didn't have the money. I honestly didn't have the money. So some customers came in and they purchased it. They owned it for 8 years. We became amazing friends, and we are still connected in so many ways. In 2017, the Tubbs fire came through Santa Rosa, and I lost my house, and the current owners lost their home also of Home Run Pizza when it was 2017. And so we went through this whole transition and this bonding period, and we actually lived together for 17 months. 17 months. It was my family and the current owners of Home Run Pizza at the time. We were amazing friends, and we had gone through this whole journey together. It's a crazy story. Life is an amazing.
So you lived
journey.
Your boss is
we both lost. Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. We loved each other so much. It was so funny. We had all of these things, sister wives, we had roommates. She was my boss at one time. Then we're just
Man.
sisters. Like it was an amazing experience to have somebody be all of those things. And so just after the fires in 2018, so the Tubbs fire happened in October of 2017. In February of 2018, he had a big decision to make. And he said, I'm either going to keep it for 2 years or I'm going to sell it. And so he made his decision and he said he was going to sell it. And I remember exactly where I was standing. And we were standing in the kitchen of the house that we were renting. And he said, Cynthia, it's time. I'm going to sell the restaurant. And my heart literally, I gulped when I said it. My heart literally dropped to my stomach. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I was like, I don't know. Like, your world is in upheaval. I mean, it was 5 months after a fire. I have no place to live. You know what I mean? Our world was turned upside down. And he looks at me and he says, do you want it? And I was like, I never cry, but I could almost feel myself to this day remembering that feeling and the fear of not being able to have it. And then the pure joy of saying, yes, I do. Yes, I absolutely want this as my own. I want this. It's my home away from home. It was something that I have grown for, at that point, it was 13 years. And so I said, I don't know if I can. So let me go ask the bank. Because, literally our lives were in, I hate to say shambles, but I mean, it was in total disarray. I mean, we had no house and shirt on our back and we were rebuilding everything. And it was just a crazy time. But my perspective had changed because I had gone through all of that. I told myself, well, why not? I mean, I literally couldn't think of not doing it. So I went to the bank, 3-4 weeks worth of excruciating all of the documents and all of the fun stuff. They said, yes, you can. And I remember the same feeling going, oh my gosh, I can have it. And so it was just an amazing process. It's just an amazing process. And that's when I turned into an entrepreneur. I wasn't an entrepreneur all those years working in the restaurant. I mean, not in my eyes. And so that's when the real shift happened.
Wow. So like you finally got approved by the bank. They said, yes, you can. Yes, you can do hard things.
Yes, you can.
I love that. And so like, was there a moment where you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, this is happening? Or were you just so prepared over the, years that you worked in the industry already that you're like, dude, this is going to be an easy transition? I mean, where were you on that spectrum?
No, not easy at all. Not easy at all. So front of house, all the way, 100%, know it inside and out, back of my hand. Don't ask me anything because I'm on it. Back of the house, in the kitchen and the cooks and the ordering and behind the office door, the books, the budget, all of that. I had to learn all of that. I don't have a degree. I have no formal training. I do have my real estate license. So I was, I had some, marketing knowledge, just overall perseverance, pushing through, knowing what it takes to be that person that has to give 100% of your time and attention. Meanwhile, I do have, 3 lovely ladies, and, it's a true testament of time management. My plate was very full. And when I first started, there was a huge, and I write this in my book, this is funny. There's a huge moment where we had 2 nights because the owners that I bought it from, they had been there for 8 years. And so on May 30th or 31st, whatever day, I think there's 31 days in May 31st, they had a party to say goodbye and, to transfer it over. And then I had a party the next day, which was June 1st. That was my official day of ownership. And so to transition and go, yes, this chapter is closed. And it was an actual 2 days. So chapter closed and then a new chapter. And I remember standing in the middle of that dining room and thinking to myself, oh shit, like this is mine. Like all of the decisions are mine. All of the bills are mine. All of the headaches are mine. All of the repairs are mine. I went from 3 kids to 23 kids. I mean, huge undertaking, but a huge accomplishment. And at the time, my husband, he said, yes, you can do this, but there's more to it than that, because just in the whole beginning of our conversation and the process of you knowing yourself, you have to believe that you can do it. And I did truly believe that I could do it. But that moment where it all came down to it and it was like, it's all you, girl. I was like, yikes. But there was a pit in my stomach, but it was soon gone. And I loved it so much that I knew that I was going to make it everything that I had always wanted it to be and ever could be. So that's the start of my journey.
Wow. It's interesting too, because I mean, like everything, when you finally realize, oh my gosh, this is rubber meets the road, it's all mine, or whatever that situation, right? And like it's just a realization of, okay, I'm either gonna make it or break it. So like I love that, because when your why is so big, you start attracting. You said you went from 3 to 23 kids. I love that, because it's true. I mean, you're managing a whole host of you got a whole team now that's all yours.
Yep.
And not only are they looking up to you for leadership, but they're looking up to you for inspiration. They're wanting to see, hey, why am I showing up to work at 5 a.m. in the morning? Why am I staying late? Why am I what are the reasons? And then you talk about your core values of fun and inviting, and you're really able to kind of paint the picture of why you're doing that, and the experience for the customer, but also I'm sure it translates to the employees as well. So I love how you're creating a fun and inviting environment for both your employees as well as your customers. Now tell me a little bit about COVID-19. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say the C word on air. I know we're streaming live on like Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, so they might kick me off here. Hopefully not. But hey, speaking of those who are listening live, I guarantee there's someone in your network that needs to hear what Cynthia has to say tonight. So go ahead and hit that share button so that your network can hear some of the amazing points that she has to share tonight. With that said, how did the pandemic affect your business? Can you kind of like walk us through that?
So this is going to be very interesting. So I have never done this live like this, and my take on it is a little bit different. So I'll start with the amazing group at Cardone Ventures in the 10X community. If I didn't
Brandon
have
Dawson.
Brandon Dawson, he is the
Natalie Dawson.
yes,
Scott
they are.
Wise. These guys
They
are awesome.
are just absolutely amazing mentors. I did a 10X 360. I poured into everything that I didn't know about management and really focusing on people. I am a people person, but to lead people is a totally different animal. And part of it, I'm trying to just circle it back around to COVID, because basically they helped me push as a new business owner, because so I had just bought the restaurant in 2018. March 17th, 2019, they said, you have to close your doors. I sat in the middle of my dining room and I watched that TV for 3 hours. I'm fuming right now just thinking about the feelings that I had as a restaurant owner, going, what am I going to do? How am I going to make it? I'm a brand new business owner. In my mind, I didn't have the skills in my toolbox to get through. I didn't know what was going to happen. I knew I loved it. I knew that I could do amazing food. I knew that that dining room was the community that I helped build, and now it was gone. I literally have chills. I was very fortunate enough to have somebody do a video for me. And in that video, I said, they will have to drag me out of here kicking and screaming. I will never close those doors permanently. And as a business owner and a mom, I have such passion right? For what I do. I pushed. I had to really just come out of my shell. I started doing lives. I started doing special events. I followed the rules my way. I'm Italian and I'm a little stubborn, and I did it my way and it worked. And I was very happy. I pushed through everything and I had the mindset of, yes, you can. I didn't close the doors. I didn't say, oh no, how am I going to get through this? I said, yes, I can. I absolutely can. I have an amazing team behind me. And at that point, it was the GSD community who was always encouraging, but it was the 10X Cardo Ventures community who was telling me, get out there and start marketing. Get out there and start asking for the orders. And so I did different events. And even though it was outside and not in the dining room, it showed people that I was not going to give up. Never, ever give up. And the things that happened with COVID, I just got creative. My very first, this is a fun one. My very first promotion was if you spent $25. Do you remember when we had no toilet paper? Do you remember when there was no toilet paper on the shelves? So my very first promotion was if you spend $25 with Home Run Pizza, you will get a free roll of toilet paper and a free bottle of water. And that was my very first.
Are you serious?
Yes, you can go on
that
the Home Run Pizza page.
Amazing. I love that.
And at that point, it was so crazy because we didn't know how long it was going to be. And so I just said, again, fun, right? One of my core values. I was like, this can't last forever. I was like, and I was just amazed at with the people's mindset and what they were talking about. And oh my gosh, we don't have any toilet paper. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's more important things. Granted, toilet paper is important, but I'm just saying, it's somewhere. We have Amazon, we have Target. You can get everything delivered to your door. Come on, people. That's the thing. It's like, what can we do? My mantra and my mentality is, don't tell me what I can't do. Tell me what I can do. And I'm always solution based. Tell me my options. And so I just had to get creative. And that was one of the very first things that we did. And it was fun. I took some pictures. You can go on social media, Home Run Pizza Larkfield. I have some original pictures. It's all on there from the journey. And it was quite funny. I did get a lot of good feedback.
Dude, I love that.
Probably I'm just thinking about it because I remember.
Wow. Okay. So
yeah.
It's amazing when you get back into a corner, how creative, like the creativity, I can go one of two ways. You can just cower and like this, bend to the will of the whoever was imposing those ridiculous, crazy, whatever we want to call them, propaganda. But like when you get creative, man, things happen, and things did happen for you. So I love the toilet paper thing.
And here's another thing, and this is where it comes back around. And this is the part that I'm so passionate about it. If I didn't know inside who I was and my capabilities and what I could do, it just took that one person to say, yes, you can. We just have to think outside the box, right? Even though in my community, people were closing their doors, restaurants were closed for months. People got so scared, they didn't know what to do. And I said to myself, this is the part, contagiously optimistic. A lot of people, Coach Burt actually deemed me contagiously optimistic, which was an amazing thing. And so I leaned into it and I said, what can I do? Okay, well, I'm going to spread the optimism. I'm going to be the positive one. I'm not going to sit here. That day when I was in the dining room and I watched that TV for 3 hours, I literally turned off the news and I never turned it back on. And I swear to you, to this day, I have not watched the news. Anything I need to know, somebody in my community will tell me about. Some people might say that that is ignorant, but it is not. Let me tell you, I'm a much better person for it because the news, I shouldn't say it, I'm live on all platforms. The news is made up.
Preach it.
It's made up. They'll make you think whatever you want to. They will make you, listen, where's COVID now? Where is it? When was the last time we talked about it? Now, I'm going to get in a little trouble because I know that it's real. I know that people got sick, but it wasn't to the degree that the news and all of the press was making it. They made it 10 times worse. That's my opinion. You can take it or leave it. I know everybody doesn't agree, and I'm sorry if I offended anybody.
Hey, don't be sorry. Just preach it.
I'm very
Listen,
passionate about it
I
because it affected me so, it affected my livelihood so deeply.
yeah, and like I mean, it's not only affected your livelihood, but many other restaurant owners and many
Yeah.
other hospitality industry. Really, I mean, if you weren't affected by COVID, it's I can't imagine who wasn't affected positively or negatively. By the way, because there were some people that had the best year that they ever had because of the things that they were selling, right? And
Right.
so they were able to take advantage of an opportunity,
Mhm.
manufactured or not. They were able to take advantage of that opportunity because they were in a position to do so. A lot of people weren't in a position to do so. A lot of people don't even have savings account for an emergency, rainy day, whatever. And if you're in, speaking with Cardone Ventures, then you know that it's important to have that, put that 10% towards that emergency fund so that you can build up for a year of operating expenses so you can go through a whole COVID experience again and not have to stop anything.
You're speaking my language, Kirk. You're speaking
Yes,
my language.
yes.
It's
I love it.
on my look, it's on my goals every day. 12
That's
months
awesome.
operating expenses. But now,
That's awesome.
we gotta build that back up. I'm
Yeah,
ecstatic.
yeah.
I'm so glad that the world is opening back up. Um, we did pivot last year. I did have a goal to open a second location. Unfortunately, with COVID, that wasn't happening. So I bought a food truck. I bought a food trailer. And so that was one of the goals that I had put in, wrote down every day, and it came to fruition. And we're ramping back up again. We did have a little bit of a problem with some staffing, but we have a new events manager, and we've been blowing up. Everybody's like, I postponed my wedding for 2 years. It's time to have festivals again. Let's get to the
I love it.
fair. It's amazing.
That's awesome. And listen,
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back a little bit to the point of the emergency fund. If you're a business owner, which most people are on this that listen to Rescue Owners Live, it is so important that you prepare for these types of scenarios. Because guess what? Cyclically, these types of things happen every decade. All right. You just look back and you see a crash every periodically. And so, are you going to be prepared for the next crash, or are you going to be waiting for the government to bail you out? And it's something that you can't wait because you get borrower is slave to the lender. That is a very you know biblical, but also it doesn't have to be biblical. It's a truth. And
Yeah.
so you got to make sure that the people you're getting money from are the type of people you want to be in bed with, for lack of better words. And so
Yeah.
if you can self-fund yourself by making sure that you put money aside for the event that you know is going to happen,
Right.
be prepared. Be prepared.
Well, I would just like to point out, keep in mind, I bought the restaurant June
That's
1st,
true.
2018.
8. Oh, 18. Okay.
2018. So COVID hits March 17th, 2019. So I
Mm.
literally had no options. It was push, just keep swimming, to quote Tori.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, just keep swimming. And we did everything to think outside the box. I had trivia night outside. It
That's
was
awesome.
awesome.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Gilbert watching from the Philippines. We have an international presence here tonight. Thank you, Gilbert, for joining us. And hopefully that you're getting some insights on this, taking some notes. I've literally almost taken a full page myself of notes just listening to Cynthia talk. So to her point at the very beginning of this, she said, every day I learn, every day I get better. And part of Rescue Owners Live is, yes, for the audience, right? Business owners. We are bringing people like Cynthia. And by the way, Amberly Lagos, you mentioned her earlier. She'll be on in April. So you don't want to miss her as well. So like part of this is for you guys, but part of it's for me. I'll be honest. I'm a little selfish here because I want to learn every day. I want to learn too. And so on a weekly basis, I'm setting up interviews with people like Cynthia, Amberly Lago, all these people that you've heard in the past and you will hear in the future. every Tuesday from 7 to 8 Eastern Standard Time, Rescue Owners Live. For my benefit and yours, it's 100% free. And we want you here because this is where you learn how to grow your business more effectively, efficiently, and profitably, all while achieving your personal, professional, financial goals. And I can't think of a better person, to explain that than Cynthia. I mean, you're doing an incredible job tonight. I really do appreciate. So you bought the business, then you get hit with the pandemic, and then tell us where you are now with the business and what are some big things down the road that you have planned, if you can share. I'm not sure.
Gosh, you know what? I just realized something.
Okay.
I quoted the wrong date. Pandemic was 2020, not 2019. There was a year in between where we had a fire. Because this is
okay,
2022. And this
that's
is
right, man. It was like the bubble. Isn't that what they said? That this is the bubble year?
Yes, you literally lost a year. So
oh man,
I did have. So it has been a crazy run as a restaurant owner. Let me just tell you, and the perseverance is. I think it should be my middle name, honestly.
I love it.
I have the original Tubbs fire. Then we had a fire the following year. Then we had PG&E shutdowns, and we were closed for another week. Anyway, I just wanted to correct myself because I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it wasn't 2019. It was 2020 because it just hit 2 years. So, whoops. So it just hit 2 years. So anyway, I'm sorry. I just wanted to catch myself. I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's watching this, and I totally just misquoted it. Anyways, so your question was?
Yeah. So back to the question. It was essentially, you talked about, acquiring the business. You talked about the major hurdle of, navigating the pandemic. And now where are you today? And, where are you going in the future with the business side of things, restaurant?
Well, honestly, we are still in the rebuild process. I mean, it's promote. We got a new system. We're looking at how we can reach more customers. We do have a special product. We have something called the knuckleball, and it is our pizza dough stuffed with mozzarella cheese and bacon. And that little trailer that we've got is going to go around, and it's going to be introduced to a lot more people. We even want to get down.
My mouth is watering right now. I just want you to know that.
It is amazing. It is ooey gooey goodness. I would love to have you at the restaurant. If you ever make it my way, I would love for you to be my guest. I would love to introduce you to the knuckleball. It is my mission this year to really grow the market share and to let everybody know and introduce them to the knuckleball. When you walk into the restaurant, somebody on our staff will ask you, have you ever tried a knuckleball? Because we want you to know that this is our big thing. This is what makes us different. We have something that is so amazing. It's ooey gooey goodness. We are a comfort food, and this is number one. The boys love them, of course, but the ladies love them too. Stuff with mozzarella cheese and bacon. I mean, who doesn't love that? So that is the main focus for 2022.
That's awesome. The knuckleball. I love that, by the way, because I started noticing restaurants, when you go to check out, there is certain restaurants will have a phrase or a question that they will automatically ask you, would you like a drink with that? Right? That's where they make a lot of the money is on the drink, right? And so there's certain questions that are, really just guiding the consumer to buy what they didn't realize they wanted to buy in the first place or try it out or whatever. So have you tried the what was your question about the knuckleball again?
Yeah. You got to say it like me. Practice. Have you ever tried a knuckleball?
Ever tried a knuckleball? I love that.
It's even the last thing I say on my commercial. I have a local commercial.
Okay.
That goes out on the radio. We do a Giving Tuesday every third Tuesday of the month. That's another thing that we do. I mean, really thinking outside the box during the pandemic, that was something that really took. We wanted to give back to the community because we've been established for so long and we had so much support from everybody coming by. I had customers tell me, they said, I'm going to come by once a week just to make sure. And we got amazing support. So I wanted to give back because everything was shut down. We do it once a month, and it's Giving Tuesday, and we give back to a nonprofit or charity in Sonoma County.
That's awesome. Oh, I love that. Like the mission behind, your vision. Hey, that's great. So other than your restaurant, do you have any other, entrepreneur stuff that you're pursuing right now? I mean, are you creating your own events? I mean, you should, have a workshop about how to, define you, I think. I mean, like, seriously, out of 10, let's go.
I do have a lot of irons in the fire. I am an author. I wrote the book, You Can Do Hard Things. I am giving the digital copy for anybody who wants it. I know that you wanted me to offer something. There you go. There it is. To anybody who's watching this, who wants to learn more about self-development and the journey, I give some tips and tricks. It's a workbook. I also have a water label. It's called Vibe Water. It is to hydrate. Yeah, to hydrate with intention, because the words that we speak are so powerful. And there's a lot of this in my book. It's that knowing you can do hard things. You're changing your mindset. So the Vibe Water is changing. It's raising your vibration. The water has a word on the label. And the two that I have in the restaurant, one is abundance and the other one is joy. And those two words actually change the molecular structure of the water. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I do have that. So I have the book. I just did another workbook called Reflections. And I will be speaking in April in Vegas at it's called the Next Gen Business Summit. So I'm very excited to share more.
I love those guys. Next Gen Summit.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I went to one of their events when there was like only 40 people there. And
that's awesome. I love those.
Yeah. I'm trying to they just came out with a new book called Momentum. And
word.
Like great word. They got people from Shark Tank and some major players in the entrepreneur world to talk about, the topic of momentum. So check it out. I'm sure it's on Amazon. I don't have a link for you, but that's definitely something that we could put on the show notes for you afterwards. But that's awesome. You're talking to Next Gen. Good for you.
Yes. I'm very excited.
So as far as how people can, find you, what is the easiest way for people to find you?
I made it super simple. Every single platform, it's my name, Cynthia Kahi. You were close, by the way, Kirk.
Oh no, did I mispronounce it?
It's okay. A lot of people say coffee, but it's Kahi. It's okay.
Okay,
and
say it one more time for me.
Kahi. No G.
Okay.
No Kagi.
All right.
A lot of people say Kagi too.
Wait, there is no G in there?
There is, but it's silent. Kahi.
All right, cool. So did I do that right? Cynthia Kahi? Yep.
That's correct.
All right, cool.
All
platforms.
Yeah. And Instagram, I'm really big. Facebook, I'm really big. LinkedIn, I'm working on it. But Instagram has in your bio, it's got my link to the link tree that's got all the things. So you can get a link to the Next Gen conference. It is going to be small, which is really good because I find that in those intimate settings, you can really get, some one-on-one personal time versus a big event like, GrowthCon or something like that. So I'm really looking forward to this, really looking forward to it, really looking forward to help those one-on-one entrepreneurs and just tell them, give them some insight just on even just the practices that I do.
Huge. I love that because I remember going there one of my first times. It was a small, intimate group, and I didn't know what I didn't know, and I was able to learn a lot from the speakers they had on stage. And you're going to be a great addition, I'm sure. So congratulations on landing that stage, and so let's wrap it up. I guess I hate to wrap it up. I mean, it's about that time though. Is there any kind of last thoughts that you kind of like to end the night or kind of leave a thought of abundance or joy with our audience here tonight?
If there was one thing that I wish somebody would have told me, It's that when you compromise one thing, you compromise everything. I learned that if I compromise me, because it all starts and ends with me, right? If I would have known that, I would have worked so much harder on myself. And so the quote that I say is success starts on the inside. And so success, Maya Angelou's quote is success is liking who you are, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. So when you work on you, everything else is easy.
Wow. Yeah, you brought the fire tonight. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for spending your time with Rescue Owners Live. I mean, we're going to be hearing about you for weeks to come, I'm sure. So I'll definitely let you know about the feedback we get. We get a lot of people that watch after hours. So super excited to hear the feedback and share it with you. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you later. I can't wait to watch, come over to California and try your pizza. That's all I got to say. We're going to be going
really good. And I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. Very honored to be here. And I appreciate you very much, Kirk. Thank you.
Absolutely. Cynthia Coffey. No, Coffey. Man, I'm going to screw that word up until the day I die. But if you like pizza, you got to check her out. Check her out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. But it's going to be her name. Don't miss it. She is an incredible person. She's going places, and she's got a lot of this figured out. Okay, so if you didn't take notes tonight, make sure to go back, rewatch this episode, and take some notes. Because like I said, I literally took a full page of notes right here of everything that stuck out to me as something that I wanted to, start applying in my own personal life and even my business life. So as a business owner, an entrepreneur, business strategist, these are things that you want to make sure that you are having a handle on. So until next week, we will see you every Tuesday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Rescue Owners Live. Until then, be great.
As a CPR instructor, you probably get asked how and where to buy equipment like defibrillators and first aid kits. Up to now, you've probably either shrugged off the question or told them to Google it. Don't miss opportunities like that. Instead, be the one to not only provide the knowledge of how to save a life, but also the resources to be ready to rescue. It's time to become a Rescue Site affiliate, and it's incredibly easy to do. Introducing the Rescue Site Affiliate Program, the only customizable platform with every FDA-approved defibrillator on the market, first aid equipment, and so much more. Now with the Rescue Site Affiliate Program, you can recommend products and earn commissions without having to purchase, warehouse, or ship products. When you become a Rescue Site affiliate today, you are automatically approved and will receive a customizable link to your store with your name on it. You earn commissions from all qualifying purchases through the traffic you drive to your new store. Whether you're just getting started as a CPR instructor, whether you have a team of instructors, or whether you're a training center with thousands of instructors across the country, this program is for you. Stop shrugging and start providing both the knowledge and the resources to save more lives. Become a Rescue Site affiliate today.